There are moments when silence hurts more than bad news. You prayed, you waited, you believed, and nothing happened. No sign, no shift, no voice, just quiet. But what if the silence you're in is not abandonment, but preparation? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might be the reason your hope hasn't died yet. Type, "I'm still here" in the comments if you're holding on, even with tired hands. I'm talking to you, not the crowd, not the strong ones. You, the one watching this quietly, late at night, with questions you don't say out loud. You've been wondering, did God forget me? Let me ask you something and answer it honestly in your heart. If God was truly done with you, why are you still searching for Him? There's a special kind of pain that comes from waiting on God while life keeps moving without you. People around you are advancing, celebrating, starting new chapters, and you feel paused, still praying the same prayer, still hoping for the same breakthrough, still fighting the same quiet battles. Psalm 13:1 captures this ache perfectly. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? That verse isn't weak, it's honest, and God preserved it in Scripture because waiting does not offend Him. Here's what no one tells you about waiting seasons. They mess with your identity. You start questioning your worth, your calling, your faith. You replay old prayers and wonder if you prayed wrong. But listen carefully. Delay is not denial, and silence is not absence. Isaiah 49:15-16 says, "Can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has borne? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands." Engraved, not written in pencil, not temporary, permanent. Even when you can't see His hand moving, your name is still on it. What if God's silence isn't because He's far, but because He's working so deeply to explain it yet? Think about seeds. Nothing looks alive underground, no movement, no evidence, but everything necessary for the future is happening in secret. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Not your time, His time. And that timing is often hidden until it's undeniable. So what do you do when you're tired of being strong? You keep showing up, even when your faith feels thin. You pray honest prayers, not perfect ones. You remind your soul that feelings are real, but they are not facts. And when hope feels fragile, you borrow strength from Scripture until yours grows back. Because waiting seasons don't mean God is late, they mean He's precise. Right now, you may feel unseen, but heaven has not looked away. Right now, you may feel stuck, but God is arranging things you haven't even imagined yet. And here's the part most people miss. The very thing you think is breaking you is actually positioning you. But how God works in the unseen and why this waiting season is preparing you for more than you asked for, that's what we need to talk about next. Because what happens after silence is never small. Next, I'll show you how God uses hidden seasons to build unshakable faith, and why your breakthrough often comes after you think you can't wait anymore. This will change how you see your delay.
You're still here. That alone means the story isn't over. Because people who are forgotten don't feel this pull to keep listening. They don't ache for meaning. They don't keep reaching for hope, but you do. And that's not an accident. Let me tell you something quietly. The most important work God does is the work no one applauds. Before Joseph wore a crown, he wore chains. Before David stood on a battlefield, he hid in fields. Before Jesus was revealed to the world, he lived 30 quiet years that Scripture barely mentions. Hidden, but not wasted. This is the part of your story where faith stops being loud and becomes deep. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Not seen. Meaning, God specializes in working where your eyes can't follow. And right now, He's strengthening something in you that success alone never could. You thought this season was about what you were waiting for, but God says, "I'm more concerned with who you're becoming." Because blessings without preparation can crush a soul. That's why Proverbs 3:5-6 tells us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say, "Understand first." It says, "Trust first." And I know, trust is hard when life doesn't explain itself. Let me speak directly to you again. You've been asking, how much longer? God hasn't given you a date because He's giving you depth. He's teaching you how to lean without leaning on outcomes, how to obey without applause, how to worship even when the door stays closed. And that kind of faith moves mountains. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." Waiting doesn't weaken you. Waiting renews you. But only if you stay. Only if you don't quit 5 minutes before heaven moves. So what does this mean for your everyday life? It means you keep praying even when it feels repetitive. You keep showing kindness even when you're tired. You keep trusting even when emotions fluctuate. You stop measuring God's faithfulness by speed and start measuring it by consistency. Because He's been consistent even in silence. One day soon, you'll look back on this season and realize the delay protected you. The silence refined you. The waiting prepared you. And you'll thank God He didn't answer when you were desperate, but when you were ready. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are becoming. And God is closer than your next breath. If this message spoke to your heart, like the video, it helps spread hope. Subscribe to Hope for the Lonely for more life-changing Bible lessons that meet you right where you are. And share this with someone who's quietly waiting and needs reassurance tonight. Soft closing. You're not alone. God is working even when you can't see it.